Hey y'all, it's Melissa here at Twin Oaks Family Farm in rural southeast Ohio, USA. We're going to look at the meat birds recording when this flock is 14 days old, so right at 2 weeks. Very interesting, and going to try to show you what the chickens have done. So these are Cornish rock cross meat chickens that are specifically for meat production. We had a really hot day brewing. It was around 80 degrees Fahrenheit. So at this age, we would say that's probably about the temperature that these Cornish rock cross chickens want to be. 80 degrees Fahrenheit ambient temperature around them. And they were comfortable. We had unplugged all the heat lamps, I'll show you that. And they were spread evenly throughout their chicken pen and going about just eating, drinking, resting. And they kind of do that as a flock, kind of on a schedule that sort of happens naturally, like the circadian rhythm as the flock gets established. Now, it was 80 degrees Fahrenheit approximately and sunny. This is May 5th, 2024 that we're recording. We've been getting some rain. We're getting some rain now. It's hard to talk over it and record because we have a metal roof, so it's hitting that metal roof, it's loud, and it drowns out your own voice. It's hard for me to hear what I'm saying, but it comes across fine on the camera. But what I've observed is it has cooled the temperature down about 10 degrees Fahrenheit, and check out what the birds are doing. Instead of being actually spread out throughout the pen, they're getting together in groups, especially like look right there. And that's actually under where a heat lamp hangs. So they're accustomed to some warmth coming at that spot, but you can see how they're clumping up in a group. Okay, we've got a group over here clumping up, and we're going to walk the length of the pen. Let me show you another group that's actually clumping up against a wall in a way that we don't want to see. Okay, and so see these ones here? They're packing in together. And so why are they doing that? The ambient temperature around them has cooled down to a point where they're not as comfortable as they were when the ambient temperature was about 10 degrees warmer. Give me a moment. I'm actually stepping over a short wall that we build as part of their brooder. Okay, so look at this group. They are not only clumping up and almost piling on each other, they're actually pressing in as a group against a wall. Okay, so these birds, their behavior is telling the flock manager, the chicken tender, no pun intended, but telling the flock manager, hey, something changed in our environment and we aren't as comfortable as we were. And so then as a flock manager, it's up to us, or up to you if you're managing a flock of chickens, to look at that situation and ask yourself the questions about that situation. Well, what are they telling me? What is uncomfortable? Well, in this case, the discomfort is the ambient temperature cooled down, so they're not as warm feeling as they were. Okay, so I'm gonna back out and step back out of the pen and go back over to where I was. But that's what a big part of raising these kinds of chickens involves. Observing them and being familiar, or at least trying to get familiar with the conditions of your own resources, your own circumstances for your birds, and being able to read the room and adjust. And so I am by myself running the camera, so I'm not going to be able to run the camera and plug the lights in to give you that actual visual of what's going to happen there. But I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and plug in at least probably 5 of the heat lamps that we have, because we want to try to stop this situation, that situation where they're like actually pressing on each other. We want to stop that situation. So right here, at least, where we're closest to this big door, I'll probably turn on maybe like every other of those heat lamps and see if they go to those and are more comfortable. And then again, we'll have to just continue watching, because the rain is now stopping, as you can hear. As the rain stops, if it heats back up again, then they may not need those lights. So it's just always watching the flock and adjusting for their needs and reading the room.